Good evening, I'm Peter Snow, and welcome to my Comedy Zone. I've been paid millions of pounds by the BBC to choose my two favourite comedy programmes of all time, and my first choice is a hilarious edition of the Friday Night Armistice from the heady days of this week. Let's have a look.
Though fighting's exciting, discover discussion, swap guns for tongue, and germ for concussion. Envelop your foes in one massive kiss and come to the Friday Night Armistice.
Well, thanks for that. Thanks for that special greeting. It's a special show tonight. More about that later. But first, I want to talk about pay. Now, it's the week that British Airways pilots threatened industrial action because they want 60k, or 1.3 MP, as the unit is known now. A strike was threatened, but called off when the skies were filled with blackleg plane drivers trying to cross disputed clouds. Being stopped literally by parachuting flying pickets there. Meanwhile, Orange marchers insisted on their historic right to march into areas where they don't have a visitor's pass, including one breakaway march, which is heading towards the BBC, demanding its right to walk through the grandstand studio to remind everyone what it was like 200 years ago when we didn't have sport. There they go. There they are. Straight through. We'll bring you the results of that march later. And finally, as Princess Diana, after 15 years, ultimately got shot of old Highgrove breath, signs of the impending divorce were visible when partitions were put up in royal boxes and balconies all over the country. There you go. And the Friday Night Armistice joined in the celebrations because our bus of Dianas went out on the town last night, young, tall and single, and with £20 million to spend.
Well, we are very, very excited tonight. It's a very special moment for our little show. As you can see, there's bunting all over the place. We've been bunting all day. We've bunted as far as it's humanly possible to bunt. And all for a truly special guest. He's taken time out from his busy schedule. He was imprisoned for his beliefs, but now he's free and in the studio tonight. Please welcome Lester Piggott.
Greeted by the old woman there, goes to meet the public. Now, goes over there. Ladies and gentlemen, 21 months in captivity, locked up for his brave stance against the Inland Revenue. Now comes on to inspect the presenters.
I've been a great admirer of yours for many years.
You were stitched up like a kipper. Definitely, definitely. There he goes now, off with the old woman. They're off now to enjoy a lavish, eat as much pizza as you can banquet at Pizza Hut, Piccadilly Circus. Ladies and gentlemen, Lester Piggott.
What an emotional moment that was.
He's much shorter in real life, isn't he?
He is. Oh, I almost forgot. Also dropping in tonight is Nelson Mandela. Oh. In fact, I think he's due now.
Oh, he is!
Oh, my God!
He's streaking!
Oh, my God!
He's streaking!
That man will do anything for publicity.
No, it's not fair to have a go at him for streaking there, because it's just an example of what a wonderfully informal man he is. He just doesn't stand on ceremony, which is good.
I'll tell you something about Nelson Mandela, yeah?
Yeah.
Everyone says he's such a nice bloke and everything, but I don't know if anyone saw this documentary on ITV this week, Nelson Mandela, Tantrums and Tiaras. I tell you, that man is a horror. It's so fun, effing and blinding all over the place. Informal's one thing, but this, no, sorry.
Have some sympathy for the man. I mean, because you've got to think, all these honorary degrees he keeps getting right actually must be a bit of a pain in the arse. Because when he quits the presidency and has to go for a new job, people are going to say, sorry, you're overqualified.
But, I mean, it has been a wonderful week. Mandela came over here and received thanks from many politicians for getting them standing ovations whenever they used to scream he should stay locked in prison. So that was nice. There's only one group of people who are bitter that he's here, and that's the viewers of the Antiques Roadshow, who 6 years ago all rang in their thousands to complain to the BBC that their programme was being interrupted to show live pictures of his release. So they started a protest this week. There they are. There they are, and they're angry. There they go. They haven't forgotten what it's like to never find out the insurance value of 6 Japanese jade figurines. So, what's that, Mr. Tony Blair? You're frightened. What's that? You're itching for a fight? Go on, take me, you girls. Mr. Tony Blair, are you drunk? What's that? I've got more pay and I'm going to piss it away. Mr. Tony Blair, you squiffy toy. Come on. So, MPs have given themselves a 26% pay rise, which is fair. It covers hidden costs, because an average MP has 26% more of a hidden family than he can actually declare. But there were some MPs criticised this week for going on that fact-finding tour of Malta to find out what it's like being someone in Malta lying in the sun. Right. What they do is they go to a fact resort where all the facts are laid on for you. You don't have to leave. It's great. It's great.
I don't know if you've been to Switzerland, but Switzerland's great. It's got the most fantastic après-fact facilities.
Wonderful. Very nice, yes.
But wherever they go, they always bring you back something like this, don't they? Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. My MP went to Spain, and all she brought back was this lousy fact.
The ironic thing is that fact was made in Taiwan.
My MP brought a T-shirt back saying, too drunk to fact.
But the strange thing is that while MPs are paying themselves more, they want us to do more of the work for them in the form of referendums. Some of them want us to vote on devolution, on a single currency, on what next year's colour should be. And I just think, hang on, you decide. That's what we're paying you for. All this, you can elect your board of school governors. Next time any of us go into a referendum, right, pick up the ballot paper, and underneath where it says yes or no, just write, you tell me, or we'll sack you. We're the public, we don't know.
Exactly. You know the trouble with we're the public, right? I am the public.
Yes.
You want me to choose?
Yes.
I'm an idiot. Do you know how I relax in the evenings? This is true. I listen to Bob Dylan. That's how stupid I am. I mean, it's not just his old stuff, which is horrible. It's his new albums, which are really revolting. They sort of go... It's like his nose has grown lips. It's horrible, and I like it. Don't give me a choice. You decide.
Exactly. Yes. Look at these socks, right? Look at these socks.
God.
I insist on wearing these because I think they make me look quirky and interesting. Now, do you really want me to have a say in whether we should enter the single European currency? Come on!
I mean, I like the Oliver and Claire adverts, right? I think they're really clear. And that they really make me want to use the phone. But I can't quite remember which phone company they're for, but I think they're good.
The whole point, they won't leave us alone. They won't leave us alone. Look. Look at all this, right? Look at all this. This is what came through my letterbox just this week. It's all junk democracy. Membership forms, ballots, manifestos. Look at this. Look at this one, right? Look at this one. Congratulations, you may already be a member of the Labour Party.
And, I mean, they're trying everything to come up with more ways of selling their campaigns. I don't know if you've seen this month's GQ magazine, which comes with a free cassette on the front. Dr. Brian Mahwini's Music of the Andes. Yeah. 20 of his most romantic speeches set to the music of the panpipes.
As I have met many of you around the country, that determination has grown.
70 minutes of that.
Too often, don't they?
But they put most of their efforts into producing all these hilarious and terrifying new adverts. There's been a lot of criticism about the Tories for their bizarre new campaign. There you go. This is true. New Labour, new danger. This is absolutely real. But if you look carefully, what it's showing is actually a pair of red curtains with what appears to be Eric Morecambe behind them. Who a lot of people like, so it's not so clever.
No.
Quite frankly, a 6-year-old could do better. Or could they? Well, we think they could. And to prove it, we've brought in our very own advertising agency from Class 2B of St Margaret's School in Bristol. Here they are. It's James, Katie, Nathan, Laura, Toby and Sarah Associates. And what we're going to do, they're going to come up with some ideas. We're going to fax them off to Conservative Central Office and Morris Thatchy, their advertising agency. See what they think. OK.
Brilliant. Now, Katie, you've got the first one. What have you got here, then?
It's Harriet Hartman being Two-Face.
And what's this one, Nathan? What's that?
That's Tony Blair being walked all over by Europe.
Tony Blair, there he is. Yes. That's because if you look at it, there's Tony Blair, and there's all the Europeans, and Nathan's even done a little European hat there, which is lovely. Visually very strong.
What we're going to do is we're going to fax these through to Conservative Central Office. I've got the numbers. Sorry, Central Office. The number is 01, if you're interested, 0171 222 1135.
1135.
Off we go!
There you go.
So look out on your billboards and see if they're up in a couple of weeks' time. Right, also, now, what have we got here? Which one's this?
This is Mummy and Daddy being happy because of tax cuts.
Tax cuts. Is that tax cuts all across the board?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's this, Toby, then?
It's an MP being greedy with his pay.
An MP being greedy with his pay. There he is, yes. There's the car. There's the car. I'm rich. There we see, and there's a castle that you haven't had time to colour in, but I think it's still effective. Who's this for? Who are you doing this? What party?
It's for Arthur Scargill's Socialist Labour Party.
Oh, good. Can I just ask, have you actually got their account?
Yes.
Oh, that's good. And what we're going to do now is I'm just going to choose the winning entry, and I really like Sophie's Two Faces of Harriet Harman. So she wins this lovely set of Friday Night Armistice dart flights and this Friday Night Armistice dart flight holder sand. OK? So let's crown you with that. There we go, over the shoulder. There we are. Well done, Katie. So, we're going to subject this, we're going to see if this is a justified winner. We're going to subject it to the test on the public opinion. So we can have a volunteer from the audience. You'll do. Thank you very much. Thank you. Right. Now, what are you going to vote in the next election?
Labour.
Now, what are you going to vote in the
Tory.
next? Yeah, there we go. It works. It works. Thank you, Erica. Thank you. Now, where have the Liberal Democrats been in all this? Well, they deny that they've given up on the next election, but they are, however, putting their resources into targeting 8 to 12-year-olds. They've launched a cartoon channel, Nickel Democrat, to lure kids into thinking that they're really great in time for the 2001 election. So here's some of the sophisticated political arguments put over in their top programme, The All-New Adventures of the Lib Dems.
Boy, am I ever glad to get home. Emma Nicholson.
Captain
Captain Paddy, ale and beef, it's the Screaming Skull.
You liberal democratic fools. You showed me the way to your secret base. Now, I will rule your parliamentary constituency of Yeovil with my skeleton soldiers.
We're done for, Paddy.
Not yet. Emma Nicholson, let's use our power against him.
If it's true that a modest increase in resources can make big inroads into this problem, let's do it now.
Let's unite and show him the power of the middle way. The middle way! What? Well done, masters.
Thank you, Charles Kennedy.
And now everything's back to normal.
The parliamentary constituency of Yeovil is a happy and peaceful land where high taxation is very popular.
Let's just hope the Screaming Skull doesn't come back for a while.
Oh, I don't think you'll see any more of his skullduggery.
Now then, though this summer is vomiting rain, for some reason, none of it appears to be hitting our reservoirs. A drought officially exists in 40% of the country, and bad drainage has compounded the problem, as these scuba divers found out when they went for a dip in the Manchester Ship Canal. So how are the water companies going to avert last summer's disaster when they encouraged everyone to make their own water by having wet dreams? Well, 2 ex-employees from Northern Water have come forward to reveal some astonishing goings-on.
The very last thing that Peter did before he left Northern Water was make a video of some of the secret experiments that were going on there. It was an extremely dangerous thing to do, but Peter feels very strongly about it.
Yes, I do. Well, here we are. You can see me now going down into the bunker where most of these experiments took place. They've cottoned onto the fact that people are made up of 80% water. So what they've done here is they've taken the largest person they can find and they've stuck a great big straw in his neck and they're drawing the water out that way. It's horrible, isn't it?
He looks like some kind of poor human prune.
Now, down here at the bottom...
What you can see is a whole load of people of varying trades who've been injected with camel genes, or technically dromedary genes. They've all grown dromedary humps. This may mean that they can last a long hot summer without water, but the side effects are hugely distressing. You can see them there spitting.
Now, this poor dog is being forced to watch a very sad scene from Wallace and Gromit over and over again. And its tears, as you can see, are being siphoned off and collected. I mean, how must this poor animal feel?
This is the perimeter fence of Northern Water. We're going to have to move quickly. We're under constant surveillance.
Yeah, it looks innocuous enough, doesn't it?
Look at that.
There's your evidence
in broad daylight, they are refilling their reservoirs from a kitchen tap in Glasgow.
It's a straight case of water theft. So, come on through. I think I can see one over there.
They've been experimenting with summer hibernation. The idea being that you dry people out until they're just a powder and then bury them to preserve them during drought. There are thousands of powdered anhydrous people buried all over this site.
Well, you can see here there's a lady there, a man there. We've got a desk here. It looks like a demoisturised business meeting. Right. Okay, let's try and bring them back.
If it doesn't rain before September, there are plans to desiccate the whole of Halifax.
Yes. They're starting to wiggle now. There's papers falling. Come on, try harder. It's okay. Come on, it's going to be all right.
You're all right.
Now we've got company. Come on.
Northern Water have actually made their own public information film suggesting measures to cope with drought, but it's all lies. It's nonsense. It's a cover-up. It's a whitewash.
Many parts of Britain are currently in the grip of the most severe drought for centuries. But there's no need to panic. If we all follow some simple ideas, there shouldn't be a problem. If you're worried about your garden, find an alternative to watering, such as milk. Tin tomatoes. Car dirty? Why not employ a clown to throw a bucket of shredded paper over it? And remember, responsible citizens always carry one of these. It's an armpit donor card. So that in the event of your death, the sweat from your armpit may save the life of a tiny child.
And the really shocking thing is that while all these drastic measures have been taken to deal with drought, the fat cat bosses have a very different attitude to water. That was a Pekingese cloud that the managing director keeps as a personal pet.
That cloud could, in fact, water 18 suburban gardens for a week, non-stop.
Bastards.
Water's priceless. Don't piss it away.
All right, let's see where the orange marchers have got to. There they are. And, they're trying to get into ladies' toilets. Apparently that was a gent's 200 years ago. And they've got every right to go through.
I don't want to take sides in all this, but this marching season, I mean, it does celebrate a vicious battle. Someone won and someone lost. I mean, it would be as if every year Muhammad Ali's family insisted on staging a march through Henry Cooper's house.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tactless, isn't it?
Well, it's not tactless. The thing I don't understand, I have to say, is why somebody would want to walk through a really hard area where there's quite a lot of people who don't like you in the amazing camouflage of a bowler hat and a big sash.
It's very sad, because a year or two ago it really seemed like the world was sorting itself out. But, I don't know, now it seems the world's gone back to all its old ways of religious strife and conflict everywhere. And, you know, we were thinking, why can't people just come together, yeah? Why can't they put all their religious differences to one side and agree once and for all which religion is best? Then we could all convert and just get on with it. I mean, is that too much to ask?
Well, OK, we are just a little programme, and religion has got a lot of complications, I don't mind telling you. Yeah. But we'll give ourselves a minute and a half to sort this out. Minute and a half?
Minute and a half tops,
Should do it, yeah. Who knows, we might just end thousands of years of religious turmoil. Worth a shot, isn't it? Come on, now. Over in the studio tonight, we've got representatives from the 15 major world faiths, each of whom has their own trained fighting cockerel for tonight's historic and hopefully decisive religious cockfight.
Well, they're all here. There's Catholicism, Judaism, Muslim, both Sunni and Shia are represented tonight. There's atheism. Oh, and there's a woman
who doesn't subscribe to any organised religion, but does believe in some sort of vague something, I don't know quite what, but it's guiding us.
They're all here. And, oh, there's the bookmaker, excuse me.
Before we get going, I'm just going to blood their beaks to ensure a good fight. They're going to blood the cockerel's beak. We're really going to do this.
Thanks a lot. Now, I really fancy the Quaker cock. It's a cracking bird, looks very fit, and the odds are long.
OK, right, so I'm going to put £10 on the Greek gods.
£10 on Greek gods,
yeah,
each way?
Yeah, absolutely. OK, so if you can take your places, please. Stand by with your cockerels. I want a good, clean cockfight. Off you go! OK, right, we'll get right back to them once it's all sorted out, OK? Now, the crowds came out for Nelson Mandela. But the Queen is still struggling to find new ways of encouraging them to come out for her when she's on her own and hasn't got the advantage of having someone in the carriage with her to scowl to. So, in a further attempt to give the monarchy back to the people, she's going to run this year's state opening of Parliament in the form of a marathon. So, providing commentary on this colourful occasion will be David Coleman and Brendan Foster.
And here now, as the race is about to start, passing the front of Buckingham Palace. Just look at that. And it's very, very difficult to run in the early stages. Meanwhile, across at the elite runners start, the wheelchair athletes about to it's the chasing group, led by Ivanova of Russia. I say chasing, they're not really chasing at all. They're quite happy to go along at their own pace. Liz loosening up, making sure the shoes are fastened properly. That's the worst thing that can happen to you if you don't tie your laces properly.
That was a good effort in concentration. She didn't even look over the last 10 years or so. Those costumes, Brendan, they weigh about 40 or 50 pounds each. the extraordinary effort that people go to. They take the toughest event in the Olympic calendar and then they make it more difficult by wearing suits and silly hats. Well, the most impressive part of this run for me is that Liz's last couple of miles have been faster than the very early miles. It'll be a sweet victory for Liz, because she's had her critics over the years, but she told me yesterday she really feels that her best years are ahead of her, and she really thinks that the marathon is her event.
The scene that awaits her. Liz wins 2 hours 27:54. Fastest times. Liz's husband there in the background. The steeplechaser himself. One for the family album. And she looks very, very good indeed.
Now, unfortunately, the Broadcasting Standards Council have just issued their annual report, called Annual Report.
It's terrible because TV standards are shockingly low, aren't they? Yeah. And, I mean, the other example the report cites here is the bad language on what turned out to be the last ever episode of Jack and Ori.
She began f***ing about. What could be seen from the old room was quite common and uninteresting. But in another moment, with a little, oh, of surprise, she was down on her knees w***ing them. Here, something began squeaking on the table behind Alice and made her turn her head just in time to see one of the little white pawns roll over and begin f***ing.
There is no reason to swear on television. Absolutely. Especially when a perfectly good way of getting round it exists. I don't know if you know, this is called the 70s disco technique, right? It's based on the way bands in the 1970s used the word funk in their songs when we all knew what it actually meant. For example, if it moves, funk it, or I ain't gonna funk no more with no big fat woman. The simple insertion of an N solves everything. For example, tints out for the lads. Funk off, you blundy prink.
Come over here and let me sunk your conch.
We're still transmitting. That's fine. OK. Show us your arms and take down your pats.
Brilliant, because it works the other way. You take the N out.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, he was hugged like a docky.
That's right.
They've also said there's too much sex, but this should be solved with the introduction of the V-chip. Now, for those of you who don't know, that's a button on the remote control which ensures that what's seen on the screen is morally acceptable. And we've got an example here. This is a V-chip sequence from The Young Lady Chatterley.
Well, I'm sure we'll all go for that. Give me your teeth, I'll swill them.
Well, despite all the sensitivity that we've shown, standards have changed in the last 20 years. For example, in 1971, Blue Peter buried a box in its garden to be dug up in the year 2000, and it was full of things that would sum up what its viewers were like. Well, it's now 1996. Things have changed, so with this in mind, we went back into the Blue Peter garden.
Look!
Planted for the year 2000. And then they're just going to chop it down. Pick a nice chair out of it. Right, go. Got them on their shoes. It's John
Blue Peter time capsule, not to be opened before 2000. Oh, that's a shame.
No, right. Hey.
Oh, I remember this one.
Oh, I used to have that. Look,
That's what kids of 1970 looked at.
Right. This is what the kids of now look at.
Here we are.
Where's the fax?
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, it's faxing that round the hooch.
Is that everything? Yeah, OK.
Now, this is going to be opened on live television.
OK, that's all from this week's Night Armistice. Remember, don't die this weekend. Heaven's on strike. Good night.